Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning, dear students, and welcome to our science class. Today is Monday, and the date is the 3rd of January 2022. Okay, we were studying about the water cycle, and we said that the sun energy heats up the water, which allow it to go through the cycle. Evaporation first, condensation, precipitation, and finally go back to the ground and again to the ocean, again to the sky. Not only evaporation can get sky water vapor, also transpiration, which means that some plants can be wet, some plants that can sweat or give water vapor to the atmosphere. And we learned what is condensation and what is precipitation. Do you have any question in them?
No, miss.
Okay, good. Now, let's see, where does water go? Now, when it's raining, where does the water go? Imagine that there's a rainstorm and a heavy rain is falling on the ground. Where do you think the water will go?
I don't know.
Okay,
The
think,
ocean.
try to think.
In the lakes and rivers, I think.
Okay. Some of it
Like
will
this?
evaporate, disappear. When there is the sun again, the sun comes back again, it will disappear. So how it will disappear? It will
Dry.
evaporate. Yes, when it's dry, that means it is evaporates and the water vapor went up the atmosphere again. Okay. Sometimes it goes from Earth's surface directly back into the atmosphere, as we said, okay? But much of the rain goes underground. They seep through the soil or through the openings in between the rocks, the cracks between the rocks. They're not only in the atmosphere, they can go down the ground, under the ground. And when rainwater soaks into the ground, what do we call this water? We call it groundwater. So there are some water that seeps under the ground. What do we call it? Groundwater. There are some other places, or let's say, there are some places they keep the water flowing, okay? Keeps moving from one place to place, from one place to place, all right? We call it runoff because runoff is the water that cannot soak into the ground and instead of flows across Earth's surface. So keep moving from one place to another. We call it runoff. This is a runoff water. You can see it over here. This is not a runoff, but now it's been a runoff. How? Because these are glaciers, all right? Once glaciers are melting down, when they are melted already, they release all the water inside them and they become runoff. Not all the water will seep under the ground through the soil because there is too much or there are too much of water, so they can't run off. We call it a runoff. So this picture you see is a runoff, okay? Now, take a look at this picture over here, page 251. The picture shows runoff on a city street. In the space below, I want you to describe what might happen to this runoff. What do you think is going to happen?
Maybe they have maybe they have a tsunami.
The tsunami? لا يا رب. No, what will happen to the water, ya Fatima?
It will go down to the. It will go down to this layer for you to say. Also vapor, water vapor.
Yes, excellent. It can turn to water vapor. Okay, what else? It can seep
Can
where?
be eaten.
Under the ground, through the soil, through the cracks, and yeah, eventually it will disappear. So it will disappear under the ground or it will disappear above in the atmosphere. So, and what left is runoff, but not for a long time. Runoff, they do not long very enough. They do not stay long. They disappear fast. They only stay for a while. So, our lesson today is only about the groundwater and the runoff. And now we know where does the water goes when the rain falls. All right?
Right.
Okay, Habaib. How about we watch a video about the groundwater and the runoff? I
Yeah,
think
what
you are going to
video?
have fun. Yeah. Okay, we'll see it now.
I love watching videos.
Okay, let's say
This
just
is
try
it
to
gonna
record.
be this? Give me more information.
Yeah, that's right. It gives you more information. So let's say bye-bye to recording only, and we'll watch.
This is it like